Merry Christmas Eve, guys! The Horror Man back with my ranking of the 12 days of Christmas. Over the past 12 days, as I've done over the last few years, I've watched a Christmas-themed horror movie each day and reviewed it. And every year on Christmas Eve, I end up ranking all 12 movies I watched during that time. Well, today is that day. This is my 12 Days of Christmas 2021 ranking. I have to admit, this was pretty difficult. I really enjoyed all of these movies, and can say I absolutely loved most of them. But I have to rank them. Like with all of my other ranking videos, I will start with my least favorite and count down to my favorite. And this is just my personal opinion, based on multiple factors, including rewatchability, among others. And so, here we go. My ranking of the 12 Days of Christmas. There are no losers on this list, but something had to go at number 12, and that's Fright Vision. In all fairness, that's mainly because this is a horror anthology film, with only one Christmas-themed segment. And since this is specifically a 12 Days of Christmas ranking, it's fitting that this would be in last place. Next up, at number 11, is Masterpieces. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I really enjoyed all of these movies. The thing is, though, Masterpieces has been the least memorable for me. I can honestly say I don't remember much about it, but that also means I have to watch it again. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but regardless, it's number 11. Coming in at number 10 is Caesar and Otto's Deadly Xmas. I really liked this movie, and I really like all of the Caesar and Otto films. It's just that I like the remaining movies on this list a bit more. Next up is Santa Claus vs. the Devil, or simply Santa Claus. This was a truly surreal experience, and it will absolutely be an annual watch for me going forward. But with that being said, it's at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is Calvaire, or The Ordeal. This could have easily ranked higher on this list had it not been for what I think is a somewhat weak ending. Now, that's not to say this isn't a really good film, because it is, and I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. All of that considered, though, I'm satisfied with it here at the number 8 spot. Coming in at number 7 is Treevenge. This is another movie that probably would have ranked higher, except for the fact that it's a short film. Even still, Treevenge is awesome, and because of its short runtime, it's highly rewatchable. I mean, what horror fan wouldn't love a Christmas slasher about killer Christmas trees? Speaking of Christmas slashers, All Through the House is next, at number 6. This is a highly underrated, modern-day Christmas slasher, and more people need to see it. Like I said in my review, it probably has more Christmas decorations than I've ever seen in any other Christmas film, period. Coming in at number 5 is another highly underrated Christmas horror film, The Children. I always forget how good this movie actually is, and it's a shame more people don't talk about it. It's so good, in fact, it could have easily been number 1 on this list, but it's still number 5. That just goes to show you how good these final 4 are, including Eyes Wide Shut. I said in my review, this may very well be Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, and to me, his most underrated film. It's gorgeously shot, dark, and disturbing. If not for the long runtime and controversial subject matter, it would probably be more rewatchable. But because it's a movie with which you will probably want to take a break between viewings, I'm ranking it here at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is The Lodge. This movie really blew me away. It shook me, for lack of a better word. Like Eyes Wide Shut, though, it's pretty disturbing, and can even be hard to watch for some, I would imagine. This is one I'm not likely to forget anytime soon, which is why I probably won't rewatch it until next year. Believe me, though, I will be rewatching it. Like the cover says, it's scary as hell. I'd agree to that. In second place is the very first movie I watched and reviewed on day 1 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Rampage. This, as you might remember from my review, is the 1987 cut of William Friedkin's Lost Film. This version of the movie was only available on Japanese Laserdisc, seen here. I'd place the 1992 cut of Rampage in my top 20 favorite horror movies of all time overall. If that had been the version I watched for the 12 Days of Christmas instead of the Fangoria Challenge, it might just be number 1 on this list. But instead, the 1987 cut of Rampage takes second place. Because shockingly, and yes, this really took me by surprise, my favorite movie that I watched during the 12 Days of Christmas is Anna and the Apocalypse. This was the last movie I watched during the 12 Days of Christmas on the 12th and final day. Never in a million years would I have expected to love this movie as much as I do. I mean, it's a zombie Christmas musical. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, and I'm not a huge fan of zombie films either. Anna and the Apocalypse, though, is somehow a masterpiece. The music is incredible and so catchy. After watching the movie for a third time with my wife, she plays the soundtrack non-stop. I constantly hear her singing the songs from the other room. They really do get stuck in your head. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the story. I love this movie. I'd recommend watching all 12 of these Christmas horror movies. They're all really good. But if you can only watch one, let it be Anna and the Apocalypse. Trust me, it's brilliant. And it's my favorite movie of the 12 Days of Christmas, 2021. So there you have it, guys, my ranking of the 12 Days of Christmas. What do you think? Comment below and let me know. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas Eve. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.